Introverts. You may have seen on this channel I speak a lot about coming away from indifference, about learning to feel and be real and present in the moment. But there is one type of indifference that I think is important and healthy, and that's the indifference to praise. If you're from a Judeo-Christian kind of background, you may be familiar with this saying that presents and gifts blind the eyes of the wise. And that's important because if you've ever been in a narcissistic relationship or been a victim of a cult, then you may have experienced something called love bombing, which is when you're new and the perpetrator will shower you with gifts, they'll shower you with praise, and they'll shower you with presents. And sometimes those gifts and presents are not physical, they may be gifts of time, gifts of attention. And as soon as they know they have you hooked, then they don't care about you anymore. They've moved on to the next one. Or they've just changed completely. Now, why was that so seductive? Why do we get roped in by this stuff? Often it's because we have a hole within ourselves. There's a deficiency. There's a need, perhaps to be validated, that we feel needs to be met externally. And external validation is important. But once we become more conscious, it's about being more selective with whose validation is important to us. Robert Greene, in his book, The Art of Seduction, said that it's more or less impossible to seduce someone who's already content with themselves. They don't have that hole to be exploited. And this kind of takes me to a point where I know I don't seem like a comedian, but I tried comedy last year. And something I learned was when I was on stage and I was hoping that the crowd would like me, I performed worse. And when they booed me off, I was like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. It didn't affect me that bad, but I did start to doubt myself a little bit, and it doesn't feel nice getting booed off. But when I went back up, I remember telling myself, you're gonna like me whether you like it or not. And that gave me the confidence. I know I performed better because I got through. And even if they did boo me off, I would have gone up again and again and again and again because their praise or them not liking me didn't make a difference. I had a goal. I knew what I was there to do. I'm just there to improve and get better. They don't have that power over me. I decided I was worthy to be up there. And it went well. Now, to my point, there's a saying that I think is a beautiful saying by who's known as the Good Emperor. His name is Marcus Aurelius. And he said this, I'm going to read it. He said, beautiful things of any kind are beautiful in themselves and sufficient to themselves. Praise is extraneous or irrelevant. The object of praise remains what it was, no better and no worse. This applies, I think, even to beautiful things in ordinary life, physical objects, artworks. Does anything genuinely beautiful need supplementing? No more than justice does, or truth, or kindness, or humility. Are any of those improved by being praised, or damaged by contempt? Is an emerald suddenly flawed if no one admires it, or gold, or ivory, or purple, lyres, knives, flowers, bushes? And I think you know the answer to that. So no matter if someone is cheering you on or if someone is cursing your name, that's no excuse for you to sway to the left or to the right from your goal or from who you know you are. You give yourself that validation. You are beautiful if someone recognizes that or not.